Approve the minutes from the last meeting. Got a motion to
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
Support that.
Any questions? Third question? Anything to? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Nay? Okay, we have input from the consumer callers here. Yeah, Carmen Smith, I know.
Yeah, but we also have John Brock with us. I'll start. I feel so close. I'm gonna step back here. It just seems like. So I'm Carlin Smith. I work for Consumers Energy. I'm the community affairs manager, and I serve Northern Michigan. I have 7 counties in the region. Work out of our Boyne City Service Center, and I live in Petoskey. And so my job is to build relations and work with folks like you when we have issues or when things are going great. Also help support our foundation and do some work there in terms of some philanthropy, some sponsorships here and there, and those kinds of things. So it's my job to try to make people feel good about Consumers Energy. But I know that hasn't been the case here in Ellsworth for a while. So it's something we're trying to work on and trying to get at. And so he came on his own willing power. A guy with the name of John Brock up with us. John works in our, what we call LVD, low voltage distribution planning, right?
Planning.
And way smarter than I am. So he's the engineer and he's the guy that has to figure out how to fix everything. So I thought I'd bring him up to give you a little bit of status of where we are on work here in Ellsworth and where we're going here in the future. So John, I'll give the floor to you if that's okay. If you're ready.
That's fine. I'm ready. I got it by memory. All right.
Here, I got my email that you sent me.
I'm going to do it by memory.
Okay, wow.
I hope so. All right. So we had some citizens call us and we looked into certain things. All right. One of the things that was brought up was that you had a voltage problem. All right. Somewhere you had low voltage. So down by that big hill south of town there, I forgot what the road is. You probably have to help me.
Forest Hill?
Circle Drive.
Now way down.
Marion Center.
Did I put it?
Eaton Road. Are
Oh,
you out on Central Lake?
Reuben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we put up we had auto boosters there, which was a old it was an old technology. So now we have regulators, so now it will boost 10%. So that should take care of most of your voltage problems. So if you have something that is localized, then give us a call. We'll come out and look at it. But those will improve the whole system. So they should be getting 125 volts out that way, and it'll be a lot less coming here, maybe 120.
Are you still having some of those voltage inconsistencies?
Yeah, spectrum goes out twice a day up on the hill. Twice a day goes out, and then it's just enough and it's gone, and we gotta reset it. And I've had 3
Can you
times,
describe it,
4 times.
what it looks like or what it acts like when it
Just a
happens?
flickering light and it's it, we're done. Spectrum goes out and then.
Yeah, it seems like it's, I have a business here in town, and we have 480 volts that come into our business. And we get a flicker, I lose my security cameras, that's my first indication that there's probably a flick somewhere. Because that's always the security cameras go right to reset.
And I had mine yesterday too. There was a glitch.
And then do you lose power or just a real
enough that you gotta keep resetting
The
things.
ceiling, light- Saturday morning about 10 a.m., the ceiling lights in the kitchen went out, came back on. So,
just a real quick.
okay.
And sometimes it's not, like it is, 3 or 4 hours before you get.
Yeah, that's a different issue, right?
Yeah.
Well, August 22nd too, at 12:24 when all 3 lights.
Yeah, that's a different issue, but
So we have a device out there that will blink you, all right? So if a tree branch falls on the line, it blinks you. And it's like a circuit breaker. It waits a second before it re-energizes. And then it will do it again if whatever's on the line didn't clear. But that's not what you're saying. The third time, you're out. It's not that kind of thing, correct?
Mhm.
No, it's just a blink.
Yep.
And how often does this happen?
Oh my God, it was twice a day.
For her, maybe.
I work from home and my computer's always,
I'd say once a week.
Once a week?
but I live up on the hill, you know, so.
2.5 years ago, I lost a brand new refrigerator and Chili Torgo lost the module in her furnace over the lights going out. It burned up my brand new
my
refrigerator.
dishwasher's not working since 8/22 now. So.
We have issues.
But that was an outage, right? That was a.
No, that was that surge that came through. How long, you guys? 15 seconds, it just wham, and then we were out, and then it was back. Yeah, and that took, what did it take over at the Farmers Exchange?
Took a power supply out.
Yeah.
Back up.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? I know you're.
Very good.
Alright. I'll figure out that one.
How many people have lost refrigerators, furnaces, microwaves that are attached to their ovens? Things that are on a surge protector normally.
And depending on who you talk to, some electricians say a surge protector won't help in that situation.
No? All right. Well, that's good for us to hear, good for John to hear. That's a
Well,
different.
I got one for you down here, 4 or 5 years ago down by the DPW building. A squirrel got up there and broke that circuit breaker, and a squirrel went in there, and then we lost power.
Yeah, that
That
happens,
was,
sadly.
that was,
Well, Friday they had another outage up there, so,
Right, so that was on Circle Drive, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's a different thing.
I guess
So,
my question, the limb thing, you mentioned limbs.
Yeah.
Is that something your company should be addressing? Falling trees, hanging over limbs?
So, we do have a forestry department, and what they do is they do research every year, and they determine which circuits are the worst performing, and then they put those on the list, and those are the ones that get cut.
Okay.
so, then I also think it's like a 5-year check back, it's kind of like a rotation type period. We're pretty aggressive, especially in northern Michigan, with, what we call line clearing, work, in our forestry
Yeah, but you
department.
know what's really funny? And it's not funny. We have a blue sky and bam, our electricity's out. Oh, wait, it rained without any wind. We have electricity or surges. So, we're not up all whack jobs here. We all live up on the hill.
Okay.
Your main feed come in from Essex out that way?
Or are you essentially
Down the
Ellsworth
river?
Road, down by Ruby's,
Yeah, whatever, it's central,
by Jerry's,
Central Lake,
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
south of town.
and it comes up 65, is that the road is?
What's coming in from you, Jared, from the Rooting Farm? What's the road number?
C-65.
Okay, thank you.
That's about as far as I go.
And I hear that the poles in there around it as well, but I haven't printed myself to out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm employed by the company, I wouldn't do that. All right, so that voltage was one, so this is a different problem besides the steady state 125 that we're trying to get you to, or 120 we're trying to get you to. So that was one problem. That one is resolved. Gotta look for this blinks. It's gonna take a lot more work.
I'm sorry, is it John?
Yeah.
You keep referencing 125, the problem was fixed. But you
Yeah.
haven't explained to us what you actually did
Oh, we put in right.
relative to the Reuben property, I understand. Is that the point you were first starting, or am I confused?
No, that was the road.
Okay,
If you go on that road,
65.
Yeah,
okay.
what is it?
it's C-65 going on out, then it cuts across through the woods up to our Rubens, takes C-65, then we'll go down Toad Lake, down Mitchell to that substation down on the road.
Okay,
And it's 3 bays all the way through there and clear.
okay.
So at the curve, there's a curve down there.
Yep.
And some of it goes straight.
Goes straight through the woods.
Well, this is a,
Yeah, that's another one on the list.
Unfortunately.
Rubin Road, where you put the new power pole,
Maybe what would be easier is there's a number of points brought up in regards to the problems that have occurred, but you started out by referencing something to do with Rubens. So you'd actually fixed a problem. What problem did you actually fix?
We replaced some older regulators, or
Okay.
auto boosters, and put in regulators.
And when did that occur?
This spring, I think, when we got them set
Okay.
this summer.
So was that put in place in order to stop the surges that we're witnessing in the village that's causing
No, that
the
was,
business outages and our business outage? And
nope, that was just for voltage control.
okay,
The Blinks is a different issue.
okay,
And that one, we're gonna have to put out sensors to find that one. That takes a little longer because every time it blinks, we have to move the line sensors until we narrow it down between spans.
okay.
So,
When we're reporting as a business the down time and the outages from a business perspective, that's obviously captured in customer service or somewhere, as I reported to Carl, and I personally called and made sure that it was part of the report because we were down for 45 minutes, weren't able to operate our business in the gas station, the retail store, our tire shop, our propane business, etc. Are you getting records of that and reports of that, of the frequency and stuff? Is that the right process we should be taking from Greg's perspective as it relates to businesses to provide you the ammunition to address these issues?
you should always call in.
Okay.
And report the outages. You call in blinks, that's another thing too, but you should record those too.
But that's what Nate's saying, it was a blink that caused that, right? Because your power came back up, but you lost your,
Yeah, it was a surge temporarily out. Power came back up, but blew our battery backup and surge protector completely out. And we lost internet and the business for at least 45 minutes.
so he had power, but he lost the equipment that he needs to run his business for 45 minutes.
That was when all three lights got hit that day, all three of them.
That's hard to narrow down just standing here.
Yep.
Could
I'm
be a
just
lot-
making
Could
sure
be a
that
lot
we're-
of things, but if you call it in, every 2 to 3 weeks, I get a report that says, hey, this zone,
Right.
this zone has seen an outage. And we want you to look at it.
Okay.
I think your point, Nate, is I'm not sure the blinks
Links won't come up.
don't get up to, so we've got to figure out a reporting system for that, and maybe that's through me, for the time being, and I can just kind of log those and track those and
Now, Tex said our,
escalate it to John and his team.
Yeah.
Would that
Tex
be
said
it?
our pump got hit again too on Friday, down at the well, our water to the village.
All right,
That's supposed to have a reporter on it too, guys. So Consumers Energy.
but once again, if it's an outage, we get the report. If it's a
It
blink,
was-
we
was-
don't get the report.
Okay, it happened during the outage on Friday for 4 of the homes up down on Circle Drive.
All right. All right, Circle Drive. So,
We got 1, 2,
so right now, what I've got planned is I'm gonna change out the transformers. All right. So this is kind of like a short-term fix. So there's so many transformers out there. And we're gonna change out those transformers. Those are older vintage, those are hard bolted, all right? I mean, when they designed that system years ago, they did it correctly. They looped it so that when you had a fault, they could open one switch, take the bad wire out of service and then re-energize everybody else. The only problem is, to current standard right now, is that for them to take that wire off of the panels inside the transformer, they have to de-energize everything. So the whole park sees that. So once I put these newer transformers in, they have elbows that they can pull live. So that will reduce the outage time. And then they can repair that wire kind of like at their leisure within a day or two.
but
Hopefully they bore it in.
we don't know about the surges then.
No, the surges is something completely different. So that's my goal for right now. And anytime that wire fails, it will get replaced with something new.
Just curious, but is there any consideration to maybe boring these lines into this, those transformers when you have them in place?
Not right now, there isn't. Due to cost.
Understood, but it's also, and you understand,
Yeah.
we're seeing blinks and outages continuously, probably much more than we should have.
Mr. Mann, didn't you lose a furnace
I
or a
I
board?
did not lose any, but I will admit, I don't have any losses that I can claim, so.
Next project I have is that the line going up the hill. I'm trying to relocate that along the road. And that will take your concerns, the crew's concerns about patrolling it, and eliminate that, and just, it should be a cleaner line.
You're going up Forest Hill?
I think
No, I think you're talking about the one through the,
Right. Is
through
that
the
Rubing's?
woods, right? Out by Rubens?
Yes.
Yeah, that, I don't know, whose property is that, Chris, who has that, the woods where the tree line goes, I mean, the power lines go through the trees?
That's
I know
way
Marvin
south of
has
town.
some of that, but he got some of them in First.
Marv talked to me about it at one time, so I, just the implication in the way he told it was his property, but maybe not. But yeah, what we'd like to do is bring that along the road. It's gonna take a little bit more line and different things, but you're not going in
Yeah,
the,
because it's going through the woods are crawling in on it, and I know you guys spend a lot of time on kind of clearing those, but it's still, you're only so much for 15 feet on each side.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's one that's, if you guys, when we have a windstorm, your guys are up there for hours on end, just getting up.
just getting equipment into
Into that area, exactly, it's a horrible
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, I've heard our crews at the service center not real happy about that
Oh, I
situation,
believe
so
that.
I think this will make them happy.
As a line worker, they gotta be concerned about their safety going up through that hill area anyway, that's a dangerous spot.
So that one's in design.
Okay, thank you.
And I can't tell you exactly how far along. I know that they've got stuff down on paper. So it hasn't come to me to sign off on. But I did talk to him and he is progressing through that.
Can I ask one other question?
Yeah.
Again, I served on the township board for years, and so I had worked with you guys a long time.
And he works
So-
for Great Lakes Energy as well, so he
Sorry,
knows what he's
sorry,
talking about.
brother.
My friend Thomas.
But, years ago, probably about, I want to say about 5 years ago, on the substation that's out on Mitchell Road, there was a new three-phase line replaced to Central Lake. It was all brand new poles going from that substation south into town. If you look at the poles, they're all new. The one's going up from Mitchell Road, which is a 2-track, going on up until it gets up to Mitchell Road, which is sitting up high, and then it's hitting winds. Then it goes down through Toad. That's been there, probably, a lot of those poles have probably been there well over, longer than I've been alive. You got 60 years there. So,
Yeah. I did a quick drive down 65.
okay. And then up and over, go through that Toad Lake. I encourage you to do so.
Like,
Toad Lake. It's a 2-track, and it'll take you up to Mitchell, and follow Mitchell on down straight south. And take a good look at the poles in there. I mean, you know, they built it back then, they held. But, they're some wear and tear, and I know a lot of the snowmobile friends have mentioned that before. But take it for the grain of salt.
no, I saw it,
Okay.
kind of embarrassed, but I've got it all over my area. My area is from Grand Haven to Mackinac, over to Rogers City. So I do have some very good people working for me. So I think we inspected last year, but I think this next time we inspect the circuit will be next year. We did it last year, so we do it every 2 years. And we look for stuff that's, needs to be replaced. So they keep changing the criteria, and I think we could probably sneak some pole replacements. So,
Really? Like the one down at the furnace exchange?
yeah,
No, that's on the list.
that's on the list here.
Oh, good, thank you.
All right, so the last thing I've got going right now in this area is that pole by the gas station. We're trying to get it, it's in design right now. We're trying to get it removed.
Thank you.
There's good
And all the
things, there's bad
vehicles, thank
things.
you.
I was waiting for something to say.
So there are some things that,
Is that gonna be at a large cost to the farmer's exchange, or?
because I'm just moving the pole, and moving the pole and adding a pole somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's my cost,
Thank you.
but the wires are still gonna stay there.
But that'd be one hell of a liability if anyone hit that pole while they were filling gas and boom. So I don't think we wanna take that on either. And that, I've been told, has been hit many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated, you know, if it was easy, it'd have been done a long time ago, but it's, moving one pole, you know, the original design was move that pole, led to, okay, we gotta relocate this one, then we gotta relocate, and we were up into over 6 figures in the cost to do this whole project. But hopefully design has found maybe a new way to, it's not gonna fix all the problems at the exchange, but that would at least get that pole out of there and clean that.
Well, I know about 10 years ago, our previous general manager had come to your company, and it was a good year, went back and forth regarding it because of the numerous hits it's taken and whatnot. It's not just the damage, it's like the lady was talking about the liability. I mean, as far as cost to your company, that figure could be really irrelevant when a life is lost and a lawsuit is pinned against you guys. And it's just a matter of time, especially when you look at the pole at a different angle. It's not necessarily weakening where a car's bumper will hit it. It's actually even being tipped away lower than that. So we're talking about, physics here. It's gonna go, I mean, somebody's gonna lean on it and it's gonna go. I've stood there right next to it and watched people run into it and airbags go off. I mean, literally. I worked on the counter for years, and the total amount of time that I was on the counter, I can count almost 15 times that I witnessed it.
Yeah, so at the exchange, is at the
Yeah.
counter, yeah.
And that's not even when the pumps would be busy.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, it's there, somebody's staring at it, they're just driving right for it, So, I mean, as far as cost goes for a company, I appreciate you guys, absorbing that. But to say that previous, I mean, a
Yeah, the
life
original-
and lawsuit.
The original
Too
design we
big.
came out with was huge. And so fortunately, John's teams kind of looked at it again, hopefully figured out a better way, I don't know, at least a more efficient way to do that. It may not fix all the problems there, but at least it gets that one out.
Those are my 4 things.
I
Talked about 4 things, came back with 1.
I only brought about a dozen business cards. I should have brought more. I didn't think of that, but I'll leave them in the corner here in front of Sheila. I know a lot of you already know how to reach me, so don't take a card if you know how to reach me. But I take it, and that's use my cell phone is the best number to reach me. And text might be the best way to alert me if there's a blink. Let me know, and then I'll try to create a little pipeline to you, John, and your team. So I'll just leave them there, and then people can grab them as they wish.
So for clarification, you don't want us calling in blinks?
I don't think, well, that's a
You're
John.
saying they're not being,
It's one of those things that they might send somebody, but they might, an outage will trump the blink.
Yeah. So,
well,
in other words,
the power
it might
comes back
be-
on immediately, but they're not knowing it's happening if we're not calling, so we're gonna call you.
gonna call me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep track, if we can kind of
Okay.
pinpoint some times. I think times and addresses would probably help us maybe.
I just want to see if it's in one area or it's the whole city. Could be something simple.
If you don't get a card, Sheila, Nate, Thomas, I think they'll know all how to reach me, so.
Thank you very, very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any more questions? I don't want to just come and do our spiel and leave. If there's more things you want to talk through or chat through, whatever, we got the expert here, smart guy in the room, and then you got me also.
I hate to belabor the point, but are we saying that blinks are acceptable?
Blinks are acceptable on the system. It's designed to blink. From the generation plant to the HVD or the transmission lines to the 46,000 volt lines to my lines. I got devices out there that will blink the system. So we just got to figure out what's causing that blink. Or do you have something else that's causing the blink? That's temporary. It could be a bad jumper I've seen cause a blink. They had switch, it'll rattle in there and cause you to blink. A little harder to find out. Usually those have to fail. Yeah, who's got to go out there and hit it with a stick and see if it falls apart.
Does the electrical that goes through the village go also to feed East Jordan, to the east?
I think it stops.
It stops. It does stop. No, that's great with energy on the outside of town.
Yeah.
Going out when you get out to the stop, that's our area.
But I'm saying to the east, towards East Jordan.
I don't
East
think it
Jordan.
does. I think we come strictly off of the Mitchell Road substation. If we in Central Lake and Ellsworth, there's a power line that goes over the water, and it goes on out. And I don't know if that comes from East Jordan. I wouldn't know where the transmission line would go on there.
You're looking at the one on down.
I've got stuff inside.
Pardon?
I have no substation in East Jordan.
Okay, but if that substation does not send a line to Ellsworth Central Lake that goes out, I think that's a separate feed, isn't it? I mean, I'm guessing by what I know, and I'm just trying to share. I'll look at it with you. How about that?
I don't, but this is the map of your circuit north. So that's Circle Drive. I don't know if you know where that is, and this is probably the river or lake or whatever. So I don't go much farther than that.
Okay.
No, I don't think they can use Jordan.
Are you saying blinks occur, are you acknowledging that they occur? I'm just asking.
Do they occur?
Are you thinking we're crazy, or do you say that?
No.
Okay, I just want to say something. I've owned a home downstate. I've never had a blink. I mean, it's like, is it something that's rural up
So
here?
there's probably something in the system that's causing it.
Okay, I just know because of maybe the ruralness of it, or,
The system's probably doing it. If I'm speaking out of turn, John, but
No,
the
it's-
system's probably doing its job. It's creating a blink, it's preventing a bigger problem from happening. But,
I've just never experienced one.
yeah,
until I came up
but
here.
what we need to find out is why are those blinks happening? Find
And it's
that.
not just circle at the top, I'm at the bottom and I get it.
Yeah, so it could be a lot of
Yeah.
things. So I can't guess. Could be a tree
I
break.
just wanted to see that you were aware that they are real.
Oh, no,
Okay.
Those are the things that are very frustrating because they're hard to locate. Usually something has to
So right now, you're the dealer and we're the ones with the broken car.
We're
The
trying to
dealer is.
put it on the scope, we still
Yeah.
can't figure out what's going on. There you
I
go.
prefer,
Squeak in there somewhere.
yeah. But that's all I can say. Any other questions?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll continue to communicate and see what we can do. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, Hugh. So on the front of this, you guys, if you have a glitch, you follow these instructions and you register it with your own address. On the back is actually to go online and file a complaint to the state of Michigan. If they get 10 plus from this village, it will cost us a truck.
And I would report him to Carlin and consumers, because it seems like he's trying to sidestep the complaints to take the heat off of him. That's not right. They shouldn't go directly to him.
Get to the township, maybe go to the township too.
Okay, moving right along with our agenda. You got police department, got anything?
As for ordinance stuff, majority of the scrap vehicles have been moved. Much short of that, status quo.
Yeah, these letters I've sent out lately, people have responded to them real quick. Streets, nothing. EPW, I think, they got techs working. You get spreadsheets, and then they're looking for, iron ore, water pipes, they got iron in them, or what are they looking for?
Lead?
Lead. Yeah, he's got to fill out a whole big spreadsheet of any lead. I don't think we got any, but he's got to go down every street, every address, write it down. So that's been keeping him busy. He finally has to use that computer. He had you there today? You saw that spreadsheet. Was it a piece of junk?
No.
No.
No, it looked good.
A lot of work though on it.
Yeah.
We don't have any lead we know of. Planning Commission, we have any?
Planning Commission, instead of this month, we're moving the meeting to October, which will be October 10th. Our consultant, our Planning Commission consultant has conflict. So we're hoping to permanently move it to the second Tuesday of the month, second Thursday of the month. But it's October 10th, and we're going to begin work on our master plan. It's time for us to update the master plan, so. Fun.
Okay, private, she got a couple more, what they want. This is a survey that we did on the parks around the Barnes Park. There's their prices. There's $36. I think they have water and hooked up and sewage. I don't know the Barnes Park, but no.
Barnes doesn't have sewage.
No. 25th and 10th. At East Jordan, they have sewage. They got Central Lake, and then there's ours. And then at the bottom is a recommendation of what we should charge for next year. Get the daily and raise the weekly. Thank you. And they want to make, I think they tried to do this. You make a reservation, you guarantee it with your credit card. And if you don't show up, you're charged $30. That's what most of them. I used to work for Holiday Inn when I was in college, and that's what it was guaranteed. If they didn't show up, they paid for the room. If they didn't call us at a certain time.
There used to be a cancellation clause, though, up to a certain time you
Yeah.
can't.
Right.
Yeah. Gotta give us time to re-rent the room. And in the bottom is what Chris thinks we should charge. $30 for a room, a regular site, weekly 180, and more, monthly 600, seasonal, 2,750. That's 5 months. $30 to make reservations. When you come in, it will be your first day. You charge $30 when they make a reservation. And then you don't pay for that first day. If you show up, you're paid. If you don't show up, you lose the money. And Last one there, is see that one, this Marlene was working with us, it's, Chris wants a $50 a week raise. And if you wanna go work that for a few weeks, go right ahead. You won't get me about. Any input? You got anybody?
Who's Chris?
Huh?
Who's Chris?
Manager of the.
Chris and
Okay,
Ed.
yeah, she knows. Do you know what East Jordan
It's
charges a
right
night?
now.
It's right on the sheet.
Okay,
43.
43.50.
East Jordan has sewage. We don't. Do I have a motion to,
You wanna go up to 36 or you wanna keep it at 30? Because Barnes has got 36.
Well, if our taxes go up, I think we could increase it some, even if it's 32 or 35. And if the Chris wants an increase, $50 a week, gotta eat that cost somewhere. Are they there 5 months?
I make a motion that we raise the daily to $36 and take the weekly at 180 and the monthly at 600 and the seasonal at $2,775.
What is the currently is per seasonal?
Oh, she's missing a zero there. For 5 months, it's $2,750.
That's what it is currently as far, is that what you're saying?
No, that's what we would raise it to.
You know what, just curious what it is currently for the season.
We don't have that price on here. I don't know off the top of my head.
We have a seasonal rate.
I don't think, I haven't run into it yet.
I don't think we currently have a seasonal rate. So this would be a
It
new,
seems accurate, but I can't.
that's my understanding, but I.
They might have somebody up there, but they charge, I don't know.
Right, I believe that if someone wants to be seasonal currently, it's
Are
just
there doing
the monthly.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking, yeah.
Any seconds?
But you get it all down, Marcy?
I'll second that.
36
Better read it down though.
Okay, so it'd be 36 daily, weekly 180, monthly 600, seasonal $2,750 for 5 months.
Okay, $30 to make reservations.
Okay.
We probably have to change that to
That's gotta go to 30.
35.
Yeah, keep that the same, so it's $36 regardless, because you gotta get at least that one day. I know a few years ago, they had a big problem with that. People renting sites and then not showing up.
And then I'm gonna give Chris the extra $50 a week.
It's more than fair, I think.
I think it. See that one week when the guy ran his own Wi-Fi system into his own Spectrum. What a mess that was. I can't even get Spectrum to come here and do anything. He calls and the person, they're up there the next day. I called him up, I said, if you send us a bill on this up here, you're not gonna get paid. Okay. Everybody, I think we take a vote yet, did we?
No, we don't do that.
Okay, all in favor? The expenses or costs? Say aye. All opposed, nay. Now, over 20% of our revenue for the village comes from that park. Hey, I don't know if you looked, but the track has been painted.
Resurfaced.
Resurfaced. It really looks good.
The Traverse City Track Club grant. So if you ever see someone from Traverse City Track Club, thank them.
Looks good, you still get vehicles through there though.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
Is there a way to
Signs
move that
didn't stop
sign?
everybody.
Say, is there a way to move that sign like right at the road? Cause I mean, you're gonna have people coming up there.
Sign and a fence and a gate.
I know, I understand that, but
Are you talking about vehicles like cars or other?
vehicles, they
things?
drive up coming off of, well, I guess it's White Road there, but they come up that there's like a little two-track that's there. But then it cuts across, it'll go across the track a little bit, and then they hit the wood chips and then head on over to whether it be Dollar General
Well,
or,
they shouldn't be, there's a sign on both ends.
I agree.
So
I
would
agree.
getting some stone like boulders help?
But I don't know about that, I mean,
Well, Jerry, you still use, Jerry,
what's that?
Jerry, do you still use that snowmobile trail?
I've blown for years.
You haven't used it? Okay. So we could put rocks there, right? Boulders?
It doesn't eliminate it, but at the Little Stone House, we had a problem with that kind of.
Yeah.
We got some farmers to donate stones and we have not had anyone driving vehicles. They can't get, they're gonna wreck their car.
They still, they use that lot from the high school. I think in the World League, but high school users are out there baseball.
Yes.
If they got their trackers, they like to park their cars in that lot.
And that's where I'm saying that, because, and we did, and 100%, when we run practices, or T-ball, uses that field for practice a lot. I also used it as peanut A, and we would pull up our vehicles right alongside the track. Now, I mean, we necessarily weren't on the track, but there's an area you could pull up right next to. So what I'm saying is that it's definitely gonna be a hard habit to break. So whatever we can do to say, hey, guys, like, like you said, maybe put the rocks. My only fear about that is that they're gonna go around them.
Well, sure.
Well,
You know,
there's a
so
lot
it's
of
like-
ORVs that go up and
Yep.
down there.
All the
I mean,
Rangers side by
constantly.
sides.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely, but it is it'll tear it.
It
It's gonna
sends a
tear it up.
message. Some boulders that send a message.
Mm-hmm.
Not to everyone.
Right. Well, it would slow it if we can get some, local farmers to donate the boulders or, just to put them there. I'd say it's worth giving it a shot for sure. It's not gonna cost anything, but at least start to deter it. Because I was just thinking with the sign, by the time you get all the way up there, then you see the sign. You're like, oh,
It would probably be a lot better by the road.
yeah.
But
Or put another one.
boundaries are.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a way to redo that path so it doesn't look like a two-track, or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just inviting the cars. Like I said, I've taken my vehicle down there when I was hauling baseball equipment. So it's, if we can, I don't know if we can do something to that path so it just looks less inviting, but definitely the boulders, I think, is a great idea.
Follow a tree, that's what the PR does in the woods, and they let you off it.
They've done that quite a few times down at different points down the tracks. And there are a couple of people, they're not alive anymore, but they would go down and they would
cut it up.
They would clear it, because, either their wives or they knew somebody that walks them.
Okay, this
Yeah,
week is Pam Lansel.
Yes.
Don't forget Ellsworth Night is the 12th.
Mhm.
And there's free dancing and food carts and registration. So it's supposed to be a little party for the village, so. So go there. And then they register Thursday and Friday morning we get them out of town.
That's pretty spectacular too. They all leave at the same time.
And if you're registered, the Pam Lansel, and you're camping, we'll give you an extra, we give them one night free. They say 2 nights.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay. The DDA is gonna have trunk or treat, I don't know what that is, but down to the community park, bring your car in there or truck and open it up in your trunk and the kids just walk around. And what is the date?
It'll be Halloween,
It is the
31st.
31st.
And Pastor Chris has kind of taken the lead on it, so if you have questions or suggestions or want to help, he's here to tell them. And
Hear about that, Pastor Chris.
And another thing, the DDA is working to get a student representative from the high school on the DDA, so. And last but not least, we have another sign we added to the community park. We're adding signage as we can afford to do so.
Any questions?
No update?
Pastor Chris, any questions?
He just waited.
What's the time on it?
5 to, it will be 5 to 6 they were trunk or treat, 5 to 6.
The sewer project is still on hold, I think.
Yes, but there is something interesting. We applied for a second grant. It's some COVID relief monies through Eagle. And this is, we applied for a year ago.
What relief money?
COVID relief. Yeah, that's not the official title, but that's my shortened version. It's a 5-word directed something, no, anyway, DWSLEF funds, if you want to look that up. But it's through Eagle, and it's money that was granted to the state as COVID relief. Anyway, we applied for it last year, didn't get anything. This year, we're on the top 30 of the list. They haven't decided who's getting it, but we're of priority points, we're in the top 30. So there's actually a chance, maybe we'll see some additional money. We should be hearing any day. So I don't know what that means. I just know that we're in the running for some additional money. So we'll see. Because we've been pretty discouraged up till now, but we'll see. Because the amount of money we've been granted thus far would not be feasible for us to proceed. But if we got some additional funding, it might become much more feasible. So one way or the other, we'll let the community know as soon as we know.
Okay, in the police garage building, we've got, how many, we got 5, I think.
5 bids in.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, unless you ask, we're gonna have to have a special meeting to open the bids up and open them up.
Sheila, did you guys resolve that issue of what style it's gonna be? Pole barn or regular build?
I talked with Mark.
Okay.
And I told him to come down here and take a picture of the thing on the door there. And I had given you everything to give to him, so.
Okay.
I said, just follow those.
It's in the post office posted, and it's also the News Review, in there, notice.
Gio, here's these garages on the mission too. Probably a lot cheaper.
Pardon?
They're probably a lot cheaper than having something built. I'm guessing your bids are probably gonna come in around $25,000 or $30,000.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can probably get one of those for under 20.
Well, I can't, the concrete's 7,000.
I have.
And I don't know if that's a permanent structure. That is there's things that are called permanent, and I'm not a builder, so I'm just saying, those are considered outbuilding sheds versus a permanent structure.
Okay, I just woke up and I have the stuff from the Amish here.
Oh, it's the same thing I just gave you.
Yeah, but there's a piece of paper that tells me the cement and all that.
I didn't see anything with the cement, but they have a service where they put stone down beforehand, but you could do cement, but even a 12 by 30 building, which should be big enough to hold a police car.
Oh, this is, no, we went, what did we go, 24 by 50?
40.
Way too
by
big.
10.
No, we're gonna put a police office inside, the next story.
Well, when this started, we didn't need a police office. We needed a place to keep the car clean and dry. And now you're looking at a building that's twice the size. Right?
That's
No, the
the size
office-
of
Sorry,
my,
put you on the spot,
office-
but do you want an office or a place for the
I
car?
just want somewhere to keep the car on,
You have somewhere you can work, right?
and then we talk about down the road,
Yeah.
I'll
But
fit
he
something
still
else
has to
inside.
have a safe somewhere if he has evidence and stuff.
I'm just saying that seems like an awful waste of money to spend that much.
no, cause I can tell you right now, they'll be filled up in 2 months.
With what?
Don't, just let tax say put your stuff you wanna store away, you'll have tractors, blowers, everything.
Well, the city, the village should consider that we are renting space that we're putting some of our stuff in currently. If we're gonna build it, let's void that and put it in that. Everyone understand that?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So maybe we should build it bigger and just pull from
I
that.
didn't know we were renting space, so
Oh, yeah.
that. Still, if you look at the prices on some of these buildings, I'm sure they're way cheaper than what.
Do you know how
I
many
don't
units
think
do we
that's
have?
way cheaper if you
Is it
look.
just one storage unit or is it more than one?
It's just one.
I know of one. that we
That's where
rent.
we keep our radar time.
Yep.
I don't see, is it got a price? None of these are priced.
The second booklet. I think they did, just the basic 12 by 30 building was 13 grand.
That's not gonna include insulation, you know.
We don't have.
We don't need insulation.
Okay, but if we're gonna have an office for an
That'll be
officer,
insulated.
We don't need an office.
well, I kind of disagree. This is a part-time community, I understand, but let's get with the 21st century. And why should he have to have a nice dry car and then go do a report out at the picnic table? That makes no sense. I think he should have an office if we're going to build him a place to keep the car.
And secondly,
Unless you disagree, officer, tell me.
I'm,
Well, I thought that was the original plan was to have an office. That was the original
yeah,
plan to have an office.
We're not talking a huge office, I
No.
think, just a place to like have
Right.
evidence.
The place that's locked and nobody has a key to it.
So where are we gonna get the money to pay for this, and how much money?
oh,
do
we
we
get,
have?
we got money, we got $180,000 in equity.
Okay.
Spend. That's how we do it. We still got $17,000 CD from the San Neil Dome. So we got the money to do it. But these, this, look at it. I just opened one bid. I'm not gonna let it be out. But that's about what we got, is what they're there. Coming in, that price.
You're saying under 20 grand for a 20 by 40 building on a cement pad?
But there's no cement pad here.
No, your bid though.
I'd say no, this is just the plain building kit is about the same as that there. Then you start adding the concrete permits and.
When I put together a bid last fall, I was the first one to start this thing. It was about $40,000.
That sounds about right.
That was electrical, monolithic pad, and then the structure.
How big was that structure, Greg?
It was like 15 foot wide, but it was a full length of the building that sits over here. It's where Tex keeps all this stuff. So, and I went and I had a bid out and talked to Dudley Stevens, and so I did the homework, so I don't see it being anything under 35.
And how much are you currently spending on storage?
How much are we spending on storage? Anyone know?
I would say 1,200 a year. We pay.
$35
year?
a month.
$35 a month?
Well, whatever, we don't decide what we want to use, because they got to the 12th, put your bid in. She's got a few more to come in, so. You've only had one.
You need to build a building over the green building, because the green building is gonna fall in the heat.
The green building.
Is this a new issue?
What they're talking about,
Is the green building falling down?
Green building's older than you and me put together.
What is it called?
It's about as energy efficient as standing out in the wind.
So where are we putting the police building in relationship to the green building?
I don't know the idea where you're putting any of it, you know?
it's going east of it,
The mistake to put any of it.
but the building next door, the building farthest east that's there now, that's not that old, 1913. Not 1913, 2000.
Well, 1913 was
Well-
over 90 years.
No, 20.
That sounds like, that's a whole building,
Actually, it's
right?
over 100.
Yeah.
That's insulated. And heated. For the vehicles.
It sounds like we got a couple different issues here, but
Yeah, it sounds
we
like.
need to,
Which one? I
stay
don't-
focused.
Yeah, let's,
It's two issues. All we got, issue right now is put the police car out of the snow. That's our issue.
It sounds like we're not dispute about what size we need.
Well, let's get the bids in and then we'll go from there.
The bids in with the size would have the office in the back. So, yeah, well,
We can always chop it down too.
we've got this 12, and we'll just print them out. When would you like to have the meeting, Hugh, so we can get together and work on that and talk about it?
Come in the 12. I'd have it next week.
Next Monday night?
Yeah, let's try that next
You
one.
want to do it next Monday night?
I have a jury trial starting Monday, and it goes till 6 on Monday the 16th. And that's set to run through that Thursday.
You want to do it at 7 or on a night or move it a week?
What'd you say?
Like on that Monday, could we do it at 7 o'clock at night and have the meeting with it? Or you want to wait a week?
Bids are due this Thursday, 12th.
Yeah,
Can we do Friday?
What time?
Friday the 13th. Let's do that.
But not at night. Maybe late afternoon or something.
What time works for you guys?
What time are you
6
available
o'clock?
on Friday?
I can make 6 work.
What about the rest of the council?
I'll be out of town on the 13th.
Okay. Well, I think it's not good then.
Well, boy, everybody have most of us there.
We can't do the Monday the 16th at 6?
Or 7, whenever.
I mean 7?
Jake, yeah. Jacob, can you be there at 7?
Yes, and if not, I can make some arrangements to
Okay,
get here.
so next Monday, 7 PM.
You'll be in town, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
That's the 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to make sure it gets posted.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get it. But the Monday, all we're gonna do is open the bids, and then award them if
Discuss
we can agree with them. We're getting, I mean, I didn't realize that companies even existed and what we're getting from them, what these people are. Anything else? I would take a motion to have meet on September 16th.
I motion that we meet Monday the 16th at 7 PM to discuss the bids that will be coming in.
To open the bids and discuss and possibly award.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Next one is working with Ellsworth Farm Exchange, replacing the sidewalk in front of the fire hall. Texted, did you meet with, what's his name? I forget the concrete guy.
Mike Martin.
Martin, did you meet with him?
I have
Or
not.
just Tex?
No.
Okay.
I don't,
Tex met with him, he's gonna put in a offer, how much to do it for.
okay.
You ever understand what that is? From the whole fire hall, that's all real rough. That's dangerous. Yeah, any insurance company agent comes through here, he'll be all over us, pull that off.
I think the important thing for everybody to know too is, not to speak over you, but basically that apron in front of the fire hall, all the way down to the corner, correct?
Right,
So there's a safe crosswalk environment there instead of a curb.
right, and handicap can go off. Yeah, yeah.
Long overdue. Be replaced.
Remember, we have to spend some of this road money on sidewalks.
Is it gonna affect the coal removal?
You got a question?
I don't know if it's time to bring it up, so correct me if, okay, because I can come back some other night.
I'm done, I'm done with
If
it.
we're bringing up allocation of funds and whatnot. From the top of the hill, well, where the trailer is, and then my house going down to Dad's, I get just in a 5 by 10 area, at least 10 5-gallon buckets of road gravel in the spring in my yard, just in a small section, and I have to, rake it, and they fill it in with more dirt, and it needs to be redone, that swath, just from, in between the trailer and my house, starting there to the end of the road per se, in front of Dad's. And it was, when they put it there, Dad worked for the highway department, and he was advising them how it should lay, actually, and it's banked like that, so all the water runs into my front yard, and I have a little swimming pool there, and also all the gravel congregates there. There used to be like a drain pipe on the opposite side where the kids would slide, and that filled in over 20 years ago. And that not that if it was level or tilted, or there was a lip there.
Did we ditch that all the way down the hill railroad then?
What's that?
Shouldn't you ditch it? Put a ditch along,
When it rains, there's great big, well, not great big, but there's large trenches, and the dirt and the stones all wash down over the road into my yard. It doesn't matter how much of a,
We'll take a look
scoop
at it
out.
and see what we can do.
Yeah, it's,
What streets?
Harris. And actually, there's no street or drive attached to it.
That road right away is still there.
Yeah,
In front of your folks' house.
yeah,
Going
yeah.
all the way down to the,
Yes, and then
Main
it
Street.
mine is Harris, and then Dad's is Harris Son, and he has a street. I just have Harris.
you fill those all the way down to Park Street.
It used to go all the way
That's
through.
I call it, it's a paper road, still on the map.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions? With sidewalks? Budget amendments, I have none. Okay, the ARPA money we've got, there we gotta spend, the government has sent us the money. And Tex and I and Marlene suggested that, I think Lynn was in on it too, that we use that money to do some work on our well, number one.
We absolutely have to allocate it and have it all lined up for December, we lose it. Use it or lose it.
There's a lot of paperwork between now and then as well.
Does it stipulate what it has to be used for?
Yep, we have a couple more years to use it, but we absolutely have to have it
Something like the water
Committed.
system,
consecrated and committed.
the roads, everything. We've gotta do the pump. I mean, that's gonna be, we do it now or we do it 2 years down the road, or, we've got other.
Will the pump take up all the money that you have?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
We had other grants, so we just keep, we got it, I mean, we got another $100,000 we gotta put in that water system down there. To finish fixing that, that's only about half of the money that's gonna be done to that well. Then the other
So she
one.
said use it or lose it, but you have 2 years. You're saying it can be done now or later.
Right,
We have to have
So-
paperwork in
right,
by
we have to have the
December.
paperwork.
Okay, so
And
if
we've
you went,
committed to do it.
if you went with fixing the pump, then maybe you get another grant.
Right,
Yeah,
So that's what I vote.
that's what we're gonna spend it. We
Okay.
got it, we got to spend it or lose it, use it or lose it.
well,
We're not, but that's only about 1/4 of what's gonna be done to the well system.
I would move that we commit the remaining ARPA money to the water well number 1 project and proceed to get the paperwork required in order.
I second that.
Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay, budget amendments, there isn't any. Just gave Arlene to pay the bills, so I don't know what's, so everything's balanced right now. But pay the bills, I think I need a motion, because we gotta pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anything else before I go to the adjourn? Anybody, Greg, you move, we adjourn?
Matt?
Sure.
And 30 seconds, we adjourn.